Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Lady Calamere and this will be my 53rd video, and tonight's video will be on Aradia. So to those who are my subscribers and those who watch my videos on a regular basis, welcome back. If you're new, glad to have you, and hail and welcome. So like I said, tonight will be on Aradia. She is pronounced in different ways. People like to pronounce her Aradia. I did at first too. Aradia, or it's more like Aradia. And I'll get into the fact why I do that. But we have our star. Shadow. So, oh God, please don't destroy my statue. Oh, this is actually one that I got from Sacred Source, and it is Aradia. I'm really afraid that he's going to destroy it. So anyways, let's talk about who she is and why she is so important. Okay, is anyone familiar with the Italian witchcraft known as Strega? So people like to call it Strega, and Strega just means witch. Now the people who practice this call themselves Strega, but some of them like to call themselves more of Maga or Magara. Nothing to do with MAGA, with Make America Great Again. No politics here. Come on! I saw what you just tried to do. Yeah, he wants to be the only one. And let me show you some artwork. Come on, man. Do I have to hold this the whole time? So we got this Aradia, which is really beautiful card. And that comes from the Dark Goddess Oracle. And we have these beautiful cards. No, I just saw what you just tried to do. We have this, the Night Woman. Hopefully I can get into the discussion of that. The Gospel, which deals with Aradia, the Gospel. Aradia, the Gospel of the Witches, and La Luna. Very important. And put it over here then. You could stay in the middle, okay? So, Aradia, who is she? She is the witch. She is the witch queen, the savior of witchcraft, and the teacher of witchcraft. In the Gospel of Aradia, that is her second coming. She had two incarnations. Her first incarnation was the beginning of witches, way before Christianity was a thought. In ancient times, it was said that by Diana to come over to the earth and teach the witches, to initiate them, to guide them, to help them along. And when we get to the time of Aradia, the Gospel of the Witches was her second incarnation, because witchcraft was being decimated. And as it says in the witchcraft, in the witches gospel of Aradia, the Aradia Gospel of the Witches, that people were made to suffer, and Diana wasn't standing for that. So there are people, even amongst Strega, was she actually, well, witches I should say, was she actually an incarnation, or was it all made up by Leyland? First of all, let's talk about her birth. If you look at her birth, she was born August 13, 1313, and that fell on a Sunday. So she was born in the Tuscan area. And from what I understand, to actually Catholics. Now, Aradia is believed to be more of a title than a name. And she had different names. She's called the Witch Queen, the Savior, the Beautiful Pilgrim. Now, I would really recommend getting Aradia, the Gospel of the Witches, but I am going to discuss certain things about it. So, was it made up? No, it was not made up. He may have embellished some things, and according to my friends who are of this path, said that yes, some of the translations were wrong, some of them really grossly wrong. Things were admitted, and also the Christian idea came part of it. Which, if you look at Lucifer being evil, Lucifer is the god of light. And he is a pre-Christian, more of a Roman Italian god of nature and of light. And nothing to do with hell or being a fallen angel. That's Christianity's spin on Lucifer. So she is said to be the daughter of Diana, the goddess of the dark, the night, of nature and the moon and beyond. And Lucifer, which is also, some people don't like to use the word Lucifer, they like to use Dianos, and in this respect they are the same. Okay, Dianos is the god of nature, of light, and of the sun. So he is the father and Diana is the mother. So if we look at her name, Aradia is from two different names. We have Ara dealing with altar, and Dea, more of goddess. Where some have suggested it should be actually Aradea, meaning altar of the goddess. Also, Ara more like, almost like freedom or sacred. So we see that her body is sacred. Aradia, when she is the gospel of the witches, she is the word made manifest. She is the will of Diana on earth, manifested to teach us. She is the teacher, the guide, the liberator. She is the heroine of witches. So yes, there's some people that say, yeah, maybe she wasn't really born. She was always, Leyland lied. But no, he did not. And there's one thing that, there's things that have been admitted, like the blue palm, the receiving of the blue palm. And That's not taught in Wicca or in a lot of other traditions. This is an Italian thing, and this is not like taking paint or painting your hand blue. The blue palm is handed down from one witch to another, and it's used in a lot of healing rites, especially healing rites, but it's also could be used on different other things for other intentions. But the blue palm has been used on me for healing, and it is a powerful thing, and the hand does heat up. So that's where they have the hands-on healing there. So other things is that Aradia is the goddess, as a moon goddess. She gathered during the night, because first of all you have the safety of night. Second of all, the moon comes out at night, and Aradia honors her mother above all. Aradia honored Diana above all. So we see also Aradia becoming a goddess of fairies and nature spirits. So she's a queen of natures and fairy spirits. She is a lunar goddess. So when we look at Diana, there's reason why there's different ways of pronunciation. So depending on your coven or who you learn from, the maiden will be Diana, the mother will be Diana, I should say, Diana the maiden, Diana the mother, and Diana is the crone. Now, if we want to look at the moon, the literal moon, the waxing is Diana. Literally, the waxing moon is Diana. The full moon is Lasna. The waning moon is Manea. And the dark moon, the new moon, where there's no light, is Umbria, which actually means shadow. The gathering of the religious gatherings is called a tregenda. And also, like, when people say, oh, Strega celebrates Samhain, it's actually called La Festa del Ombra, which means Shadow Fest. You mean a festival of me, Shadow? No, Shadow Fest. Well, you just said Shadow. Okay, Shadow. Okay, I'm just trying to throw a lot of light humor. He does love the attention. So, in the Gospel of Aradia, you're going to see some things that are a little bit coded or hidden. And when they say, I come, you know, when you invoke Aradia, you're supposed to have wine and salt in a red bag. But some of the invocations have this where salt in a red bag. Well, salt in this context represents the sun. The wine is the blood of Diana. And water, of course, is water. And I come here with my talisman. The talisman is actually a holy stone, and that's a stone found natural with a hole in it. Big hole, small hole, enough where you could put, it goes right through where you can see through it, and you could put a cord inside and wear it around your neck. And that's when they talk about, I'm here with my talisman. So, Aradia is a very powerful goddess. Now, Leyland said that she is called Herodias, as well as she is actually Lilith. I disagree with that. First of all, Herodias was the queen of Galilee during the New Testament time. And Lilith is a different spirit. has a different story. Where yes, there is some, quite a bit, some similarities between Lilith and Aradia. However, close but no cigar. How is Aradia seen? Aradia, if you want to talk to the initiates of Strega in the area, is that she was described as with long hair, red. She's a red-headed witch. That's where you get the things that, like, I think in Massachusetts, it's no longer honored, but it was like if you had red hair, if a woman had red hair, you can fire her because of this anti-witch laws. But she was seen as red hair, very beautiful, almost looks a little bit Celtic, but she wasn't Celtic, of course, and she's kind of short, but very beautiful. She wore pilgrim clothes, because she was called a beautiful pilgrim, and she traveled all over, teaching the art, fanning the flames of witchcraft. She hung out with literally the oppressed, the poor, the uneducated, the escaped slaves. She hung out with thieves, those who would call the night during the day. So she taught them, those who may have been poor in the physical but rich in spirit, and taught the people who were being so oppressed that they had no other alternative than to become a thief. She hung out with them. So, and yes, she taught the witches how to heal and how to curse, how to bless and to hex. She taught people, if someone smacks you, punch them even harder. She taught people how to ruin crops, how to poison crops, how to poison their masters, how to literally use herbs for benign use and for malicious use. She taught people how to use the evil eye, the Malocchio, and how to break it. She did not teach the law of three. That had nothing to do with this religion. And it is a religion, not just a practice. Some people look at witchcraft as a practice. This is a religion. She taught people how to stand up for themselves. It wasn't all love and light and do what thou will, as long as ye harm none. That had nothing to do with it. She did not teach, what you put out, you'll get back 3 times. She literally taught how to really crush your enemies. So, yeah, she had love and light, but she also had a very dark side. So she has a light side and a dark side. Because you just don't fuck with a witch. So other things that I want to talk about is there's a song on YouTube, and I'm going to explain the meanings behind it. So, and it has a lot of symbolism. It's full moon shining bright, midnight on the water, oh, Aradia, Diana, silver daughter. Okay, So let's look at full moon shining bright. Okay, so in the gospel it says if you have a wish, if you want something, go to on the full moon and ask for it. So full moon shining bright, midnight on the water, midnight, witching hour. And this was the time when they start gathering, where we have the night woman. Where the night woman, and I'm not saying men weren't witches back then, they were. But she was more attuned to women, because first of all, guess who got oppressed the most? It was women. During the Christian church, the Inquisition, oh hell yeah. The women had to walk on eggshells. But anyways, back to the point is that there's other things behind it too. So, but the night woman would gather at midnight on the water. What does that mean? Why do you talk about on the water? Okay, so if anyone's familiar with the practice of Stregaria or Stregaria, depending on your tradition, there was a sacred lake, and it was called Nemi, and you always had a king of the lake, Rex Nemi, and usually was a thief. And they would fight for it. And the person who won dressed like in these robes and had the staff, and he would guard the Nemi, and he would accept the what was considered by society losers, outcasts, thieves, the poor, the oppressed, the uneducated, witches. So that was their safety. So midnight on the water, oh, Aradia, Diana's silver daughter. Well, Diana's daughter. And silver meaning to deal with the moon. So now you know the code right there. So, anyways, I have a lake can always be used for your witchcraft. Now, it could be a man-made lake, or it could be a natural lake, but you can face it and use it as Lake Nemi, because sometimes I like to face it, and what's really interesting is that it faces north, and I sometimes like to call upon Aradia facing north, the land of towards the dead, the summer lands. So, other things about her is that in Raven Gramasi did a lot of research on the Gospel of the Witches, and of course he was Strega, and the God and Goddess Where's the Soul, is that he was looking up Inquisition records. And what's his name? It was seen around that time where she would have been teaching is where witchcraft started to go on the rise. I mean, not just a little bit. I mean, it skyrocketed. So we see a figure that was hunted, and he did a lot of good research, Raven Gramasi, and he was a grimace, which he was able to write some of the secrets down. And the reason why he did that is because to keep witchcraft, the old religion, especially of religion of Italy alive. So that was also taught, is that you need to keep witchcraft alive. Now, the person who taught me a lot of these things, she was and continues, she is a Strega. She was initiated when especially when she went down to Sicily. The things I can tell you is that they make a consideration if you're not Italian. You either have to be born on the 13th, especially August 13th. Which, again, August 13th is very sacred to Diana. It's a very sacred night to Diana and to Aradia. Now, August 13th, or you're born on the 13th, you have Italian descent, or you're married to an initiate. But even then, even if you're married to an initiate, doesn't mean they're going to teach you. But there's other things that are included. And those are... Well, I know things have changed. And I'm no longer in contact with this person. We kind of went our separate ways. So, Aradia, you have to worship her to get blessings. You don't have to be a devotee to her. If you are a witch, and even now Wiccans, of course Wiccans, and there are Wiccans who are witches. And I'm not going to get into this debate. There is a difference. There are some differences, and yes, there are Wiccans who are witches, but there are some Wiccans that don't practice magic unless they're with their covens. And I've met them. I had some friends like that. Anyways, she will defend you. If a witch is being oppressed, if there's a witch war, and the witch comes and say, hey, I'm being oppressed by so-and-so, or my husband is being a shit to me, or someone is harassing me, she will help. Oh, she will help. And Diana has the same thing with that. I mean, Diana can help those, even if you innocently offer her something. She has a way of helping those that are good to her. One day I'm going to do something on Diana, however you want to pronounce it, and I'll go into Lasna and Umbria. But I don't want to get off point here. Now, very sacred to Aradia, the rue plant, and vervain. It is said that, and this was from the lady that taught me, that when she saw a priest, sometimes she would take her rue and point at him and say some nasty shit. She would condemn them. She even taught that Christianity was pretty much, the way it was taught, is a lie, and that the three devils are actually Jesus, Mary, and Joseph, or as someone would say, that even their God is a cruel devil. Now, Diana having sex with the devil, Lucifer, and that she had sex with a fallen angel, and that she repented, and that Aradia was not to be like her father Lucifer, who is all evil and blah, 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 that she was to be more like her mother. This is where the Catholic shit entered. First of all, Dianus is not evil. He's not a fallen angel. Diana did not need to repent for what she did. Let's get that in the open right there. Some of these translations have been mistranslated and added with Catholicism that Diana is the queen of heaven and earth and hell. And that they added, you know, about Cain and fallen one, angel, and Lucifer being prideful, and, you know, all this stuff. It's all Catholicism input on who Lucifer Dianos is. And let me tell you something, even Raven Grimassi in his book said he was at some point offended and like horrified with shit that was written there. Now, I'm not saying don't get the Gospel of Aradia. It is a very important book. And it is a very sacred book. But please, some of the things have been mistranslated. And Leyland, Charles Godfrey Leyland, suffered a lot of criticism from other folklorists. But now we know that what he wrote was extremely important. And what he wrote was very instrumental towards Wicca. And what he wrote is very instrumental for the witches of today. And it is a very important work. So I do want to put that out. Sacred animals to Aradia is a cat. Especially a black cat. Because it was said that Lucifer had a cat, a black cat, who he slept with every night. And that black cat was actually a fairy, a changeling fairy, a shapeshifter fairy. And that Diana made a deal with this cat and said, hey, can, you know, let me sleep. Or made a request for her to take the place of the cat. And she had sex with Lucifer. And it said that Lucifer got angry at her, because the light was overcome by darkness. Now, this is also seen as the light was overcome by darkness. Not that light became night, that day became night. This is more alluding towards, guess what? A solar eclipse, a complete solar eclipse, where night overcame day. And then she was pregnant with Aradia. So black cats are very sacred to this goddess. And as all cats are. And as we can see, he just took over the whole fucking altar. But Aradia allows it, and, you know, he's a character. And he's cute. Cats are cute. So what should we hold sacred to Aradia? Well, Aradia can be given moon cakes. We give her red wine. You could give her bread. You can give her fruits and chocolate. She likes chocolate. She does love chocolate. And we give her things that represent the moon. We could give her water, as that's also in the Strega, where we give her water. So other things about her is that you see her naked, right? In that statue. But that's how they would be in the Tragenda. And ye shall be, to show that you are a sign that you are free, ye shall be naked in your rights. So here they are sky-clad, which is their birthday suit. Now, some people do not, I've feel comfortable being naked in the coven or in a grove, that's fine. You can still practice witchcraft. Now, however, this is just how some covens do. They are naked, especially when it is not an open, like some covens that are traditional will have a day where it'll be night where it'll be open, and they allow people who are not initiates, people who are not have any affiliation with the coven or with the truth trad, to be there. And that is the point where they're not going to be naked, of course. So Aradia is naked there with her besom, the broom, which is called besom. Her number is 13. Now, other things that I've deliberately left out because I want to discuss it more. Walnuts are sacred to Diana and Aradia. There was a walnut tree that the witches would gather around, and they wouldn't stop, so a priest had it cut down. But to his dismay, the witches would still gather around. There'd be evidence of the worship there. Now, there's a thing called Strega liquor. Now, I'm going to teach you about the blue flame. Strega liquor is sacred to Stregon area. And it is used, it's expensive. It's used as offering. It's also used to make the blue flame, where you pour it in a fireproof vessel, and it's blessed to Dianus, and it's lit. Now, not everyone can afford that. That's very expensive. So what I was taught is you could take, you have to have 71, don't go like 90%, but 71% alcohol. Pour it in and just pour a little bit of that alcohol and light it. And then you have your blue flame. Now her Aradia's number is 13. The 13th is very sacred to her, especially, like I said, August 13th. Other things that are sacred to her are tools of witchcraft and tools of divination. Aradia will help you with witchcraft, those who wish to learn, and magic. She will teach you everything with that, and she will help you with divination, scrying, whether you're using a crystal ball. Right there is a selenite ball, and I had it where I had the two phases, the waxing and the waning, and I had the full moon there, but shadow took over, and of course the silver heart. So silver would be a good offering to Aradia, being that silver is the metal of the moon and the color of the moon. Well, not color, but so Lucifer predates Christianity. I just want to say that. And it was it's a title, like I said, light bringer. And there's also Diana Luciferia, as well as Dianus Lucifer. And Diana Luciferia means Diana as the light bringer, the female light bringer. So we see Lucifer as female and Lucifer as male. I mean, Diana was also called Diana Titania, which Titan means giant, the older gods. So colors to use for Aradia, of course in Strega it's white, red, and black. Some people like to use just red and black for her, and that's fine. Some people like to use silver to represent the moon. That's also fine. A good color for her, silver being lunar, because she is Diana's lunar silver daughter. So silver, red, and black, or white, red, and black. Perfect colors for her. Speaking of that, red is pretty sacred in Strega, is where you have, okay, so you have your traveling circle bag. It's a bag. It's a red bag. It's supposed to be a red bag. And in the red bag, you have different things. You have a needle, like just a sewing needle, to represent your athame, your witch's blade. You have a thimble to represent the chalice, the grail, the cup. You have a coin, any penny, whatever is your currency of a coin, and that coin represents the pentacle, and you could take a marker and draw the pentacle on the coin, but be careful with defacing money. You know, I can't tell you to do that. That's a legal no. And there is yarn or string to represent the circle, to draw out the circle. Also a match, and the match represents the wand. And always rue and vervain, a thing of rue and vervain in it. And in the other bag you have salt. So there you go. You have your little traveling thing with it. So have magic, will travel. Aradia is a matriarchal goddess. She's not a man-hater. Aradia is also honored a lot by Dianics. She is also honored by feminist witches, be they initiated Dianics or if they're more feminist. I mean, whatever. She teaches about a woman's natural power, especially the blood mysteries. And our blood mysteries is not about let's cut our wrists. No, this is about the menstrual blood. We have blood mysteries, the menstrual blood, of course. Then the other blood mysteries, and some of this is overlooked. When the woman, her hymen breaks, blood, the sexual mysteries of that, the hymen breaking. We also have the blood mysteries of giving birth. When we give birth, there's a lot of blood comes out of us. So there we have the feminine blood mysteries. And also blood through the line, the witch's line of the children carrying the witch's blood, the witch's line. That's another thing I'm not going to get into. There's also another thing that I was taught, and I'm going to teach you. And I was asked, do you know any spells to break the evil eye? Okay. So we get water. You get it in a bowl, natural bowl. Make sure, I was told never to use plastic. You use wood, use stone, anything but like fake shit. It's best to use purified water or spring water. necessary. Don't use water from your tap. You want to use, if you pour from your Brita, that's fine. And what you do is you got to get a dropper. So here's a bowl, water, a dropper, olive oil, extra virgin. It should be extra virgin. And a consecrated shears. So scissors are also not a sacred tool that's not seen in Wicca, but in Strega. Among the Strega. So what you do is you fill the water and you bless it. There's actually a prayer for it in if you look for it in Aradia, Gospel of the Witches. But just say your prayer of blessing the water. And what you want to do is you take your shears. Okay, you want to draw. You could do either 3, which I suggest the 9. 3, 9, or 13. So draw. You see, you draw over the water, right? You take your shears and you draw it. You see in blue light, 9 pentacles, banishing. So if you go past 9, then go to 13. If you go past 13, you gotta just throw out the water. That's fine. And then redo it. So if you do 9 banishing pentacles, now you have to do 9 invoking. So, and what you want to do, banish, circle, banish, circle, banish, circle. 9 times, and then do it 9 times again, invoking, and draw the circle. Okay, so banishing is during the pentacle. This is actually an earth banishing, and the earth invoking like that. And blue, see, like blue flame over it. And in the middle, take your dropper, 3 drops of oil right in the middle. Now, can you use more oil? If you go to 4, just do it in numeration of 3. If you go to like 13, it's going to be ridiculously amount of oil. But watch it. Now, if it stays in the middle, there isn't nothing. If it starts coming out of the middle, it's fine. But once it's really coming out of the middle, especially in globs, you know there is an evil eye. Now, there's 2 things. Someone sent a spell to you because you're asking for this. And remember, ask for Aradia's help and Diana's help. And you can do this in emergency circumstances, but especially on a Tuesday or on a full moon. Tuesday is a time of Mars. What you can do is you take a jar, right? Say if someone really hurt you. Say if someone cheated you. If someone, you know, if there's a rapist in the neighborhood, you can write rapist in the neighborhood, any descriptions that you can, or take a person of the picture, say if someone who really hurt you. This is not someone who goes, hey, fuck you, or just cut you off in the middle of an expressway. This is someone who almost like probably caused an accident through drinking and driving, whatever. Maybe someone who's hurting an animal. Oh, they fucking deserve it. You get the jar, right? You put it in, and you pour the water, and you say that whatever hex is upon you, may it go over to them. Put the jar, seal it with, use like a black, at this point, black candle. I hope you could burn a black candle during this, and put this jar somewhere dark. You could put it in a, let's see, sewer, down the sewer, garbage dump, graveyard, the place where something really vicious happened. Now let's say I don't want to curse anyone. Okay, so forget the jar method. So you did your banishing, you did your invocation, pentacle, you did the drops of oil. You want to break the shit, take the scissors, right? And you hit the oil. Scatter with just think of that fury of breaking it. Scatter. Stab that fucking oil. Scatter. Get all those globs of oil. Just keep stabbing it, like you see the eye being stabbed, see this person energy, this spirit that's after you being stabbed. And what you do is you're gonna take this water, and you're gonna, they said put it in a flowing river, but not everyone has a flowing river. What you want to do, pour it down the fucking toilet and flush it immediately. Get it out. As for the bowl, clean it out ASAP. Soap and water, some hot water, get it in there and clean it out. And you're done with that spell. I didn't want to forget to teach that. Look at this. I had this so beautifully done. I want to read an invocation that I wrote to Aradia. Going to my email. And I lost it. Great. Aradia. So, Aradia can be used for, what can she be used for? Anything. Money, love, job. She's an all-purpose goddess at this point. Healing of animals. Getting revenge on your enemy. Cursing your enemy. Where the hell? What the heck? Blah, blah, blah. Okay. I cannot find it. Oh, so anyways, until I find it, let me tell you some things. Aradia incense. You want to make Aradia. Just mix rue, equal parts of rue and equal parts of vervain. Again, the herb vervain and rue. Well, I only have blue vervain. That's perfect. And you can get it as tea. You can buy it as tea. And just open up the tea bags and mix it together. And it's already measured out for you, so it's perfect. So Aradia oil. Get yourself rue oil and vervain oil, right? Equal, say about 3 drops each. You want to do it like 3. And you could mix it in a base of jojoba. And if you really want to get into this, 13 drops of jojoba, 3 drops of vervain, and 3 drops of rue. And you can increase it. So you could do 13 times 3, and then do the rue times 3 and the oil, the vervain times 3. And that's how you make the oil. Just be careful with rue oil. Okay, it's not something you want to keep sniff. But you use it to bless things and bless candles. And I cannot find my invocation. So, alright. And I don't read from notes. I'm just going to do it now. Because I don't remember it. I wrote this a long time ago and I've used it. Okay, so, are you ready? Aradia from the northern direction come abound. Bring the friendly fairies to come around. I'm sorry. Aradia from the northern direction come abound. Bring the friendly fairies to come around. Aradia, oh how I love thee. Come unto me, mistress of this mystical night. I'm sorry. I hate this. This is why I don't like using notes. Okay. And let me expand this because my eyes are not that good. And I fucked up my own invocation. Scratch it. Okay. Aradia from the northern direction come abound. Bring the friendly fairies to come around. Aradia, oh how I love thee. Come unto me, mistress of this magical night. Bring to me your holy light. Lady of the silvery moon. Aradia, please come around and grant me a boon. Aradia, Aradia, Aradia. So that was something I wrote a long time ago, back in the 90s. And I published it on different websites. So maybe you could say I published it on the Witch's Voice, Witchbox, but that's been closed now. Other things I want to talk about her. Is that some people will say, well, she was just a woman who was just a witch. If you've ever called her, if you've ever experienced her, you would know that's actually not so true. Her energy is very powerful. It's very potent. And believe me, you can feel it when she's there. So all manners of things that you want or need, she can help you. And I'm meaning she has even been she's even been known to help thieves and help some criminals. I'm not promoting it, but I'm not going to gloss over it. My intentions is to teach, not so much as tell you how to live your life. I'm not here to judge. Not at all. I mean, even if you look in the Gospel of Aradia, you have a thing about Laverna. And Laverna was an aspect of Diana, who was the goddess of, one of the things that she does is the goddess of thieves. And when they call her to help them do the criminal activities. And she was happy, she would appear waist up. If she wasn't happy, she would appear waist down. So that's one of the things that I wanted to tell you. So, again, what was there wasn't about love and light and everything else. And Aradia, she is very loving to us witches. So again, so let's look at her name again. I just want to go over this again. In Latin, if you look at her name, okay, Italian and Latin. So let's go to the Latin name, because I forgot to, I know I did this, but I want to really go into it. In Latin, if you look at Ara, it deals with voice. It deals with refuge, protection, and like I said, altar. So Ara is that Dia, D-I-A, relating to more, some people, Dia means day, but in we mean to is relating to Diana. So here we have the altar of Diana, the voice of Diana, the gospel of Diana, the refuge and protection and the safety and the sanctuary of Diana. That's who she is. So let's look at her name in Italian. Ara, altar, A-R-A. Dia, meaning to grant, bestow a boon. a blessing. So now we have the altar of blessings, the giving altar, the bestowing altar. But DEA, which you could spell her name as A-R-A, DEA meaning goddess, Dea meaning goddess, the altar of the goddess. She is the living word of the goddess. She is the peace and the boon and the blessing to those who are yearning to be free. For those who are yearning to be a witch or to learn witchcraft, to learn the secrets of divination and of the herbs. She can teach you how to connect with nature, to connect with the trees, to connect with all that is around you, to connect with the energies, to connect and to communicate with the nature spirits, with the fae folk. So I know a lot of people don't go into that. I do have a statue of Lucifer, and he is not at all wicked or evil looking. As I said before, Diana is a goddess of the night and of the moon and of nature and of earth and beyond. And Dianos is light in the sky, in nature and beyond. Diana is the daughter of the light and the day and the night and the darkness. Aradia is our living guide. She had her disciples, and boy did she teach. It was said that she traveled all over, beyond Italy, to teach, to keep witchcraft alive. Aradia, thank you for helping us and teaching us. There was so much to learn about this goddess, but I've already been talking for an hour. What else can I teach you? But there are so many mysteries to learn. And if you open your heart, your mind, and let Aradia teach you and guide you, she will. Aradia is not about giving up your humanity. She's not about subjugation, for you to be subjugated. I'm unworthy to see, to feel you or see you. I don't deserve you. She's not about that. To be free. And it's her also even free with sex. And of course, her sex wasn't about control or rape or into ugly things, using sex for ugly things. I'm not, it's not against prostitution. And there are things I don't even want to say, what people do with sex, and it's disgusting how they hurt. Rape and child molestation is disgusting. Okay? You people that like that should just take a bowl of water and stick their face in it. I have no respect. I have no respect for that. But she is a goddess of pleasure. She is a goddess of fulfillment. She teaches that one witch should bless another witch. That she teaches those who bless you should be blessed. Those who've given to you, you should give to them and pass it on. To teach spirituality, to teach magic, to teach spells. She'll teach you how to do bad shit, and she'll teach you how to do the good stuff. All about balance here. Anyways, I want to thank you for bearing with me, especially when I was fucking up, because I don't like using notes. I don't like reading from a script. I don't have any of those. And thank you for bearing with my cat here, taking over the most beautiful altar I set. There he is, Shadow, the Witch. In his new movie called Shadow, The Witch Part 2. Well, actually, The Witch Part 2, starring Shadow. Lady Boss was here, but she's not on it. But anyways, I want to show you. This is something that George bought. And I wanted to show you this. And we have the god and goddess back there. You see the god and the goddess. And this. Well, what do you have to say for yourself? Are you a witch cat? He loves to be in my rituals. Well, anyways, thank you for watching. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. If not, then give me a thumbs down. And if you like it, subscribe so that you never miss a video. Please share this with your Facebook friends, your Facebook groups, or anyone that would find this interesting. And please always be patient with your cats. And always love your animals, whether they go on your altar and trash everything and break your statue into a million pieces. Because you can always buy a new statue, you can always make a new one. But each cat or each dog is an individual, and they deserve love, even when they're naughty. So, anyways, thank you for watching, and as always, blessed be. Oh, by the way, if you're in the path of Henri, I hope you remain safe and sound. I hope you took precautions, and blessed be. I hope you remain safe. Take care of yourselves and each other and animals. Blessed be.